Lesson 263. My holy vision sees all things as pure. Welcome to Croatia. We are now in the area of Split. That's what you can see on the other side is Split. And we are on the island called Trogir, I think, or wherever the city Trogir is on. As I promised, I will take you to all the places where I am traveling through Croatia, and this is going to be quite a few days, so you're going to see quite a few different angles of the Croatian coast. My name is Judith. This is the Qigong support for A Course in Miracles students, and this is part of the Lucid Mind Center, a virtual center which I started back in 2010 for retraining the mind. And the reason why this is called a Qigong support is because after reading and contemplating the lesson together with you, I'm going to guide you to a Qigong class or two which are suitable for this particular lesson. Let's begin. Lesson 263. My holy vision sees all things as pure. Just like that, what we see here behind me. And this lesson starts with a prayer. Father, your mind created all that is. Your spirit entered into it. So all that is, your spirit entered into it. It's actually quite interesting. So everything we see, everything that is, the spirit of life, the spirit of existence went into it. This is what some of the Asian religions say. Your love gave life to it. Your love gave light. Your light, your love gave life to it. Your light gave life to it. And they figured out nowadays that every cell actually has light at its core. And would I look upon what you created as if it could be made sinful? So even if you don't see this, if you see other things which are not as beautiful, could any of that be sinful? I would not perceive such dark and fearful images because we have changed our mind. A madman's dream is hardly fit to be my choice instead of all the loveliness with which you blessed creation. All its purity, its joy, and its eternal quiet home in you. That's the prayer. And as you know, each one of those lessons which we are doing now, they are related to the special thought, what is the body? And the way I'm seeing each one of those 10 lessons which belongs to that special idea, this is like a different angle helping us to understand what the body is. Namely a tool for us to look at the world differently and to bring the light, to remember who we truly are and bring the grace of love and light to the earth, to this reality. And while we'll still remain outside the gate of heaven, let us look on all we see through holy vision and the eyes of Christ. Let all appearances seem pure to us, that we may pass them by in innocence and walk together to our Father's house as brothers and the holy sons of God. And I just have to talk with you about that. A few points I want to mention to you here. And while we still remain outside the gate of heaven, we are still outside of the gate of heaven. Let us look on all we see through holy vision and the eyes of Christ. So we want to basically grace everything what we see with the holy eyes of Christ. We want to look at everything through the eyes of love. And the reason why we are still remaining outside of the gate of heaven is because every single one of us needs to wake up, because only together we can return. Let all appearances seem pure to us, that we may pass them by in innocence and walk together to our Father's house as brothers and the holy sons of God. Let all appearances seem pure to us. Is because if we see them as pure and as innocent, then we don't get caught up, our ego doesn't engage. So we are just like looking and saying, this is so incredibly beautiful. Even if it's not beautiful, we look for the beauty in it. Like, for example, this plant doesn't have any flowers on it, but we can still look at it and say, oh, this is beautiful. Or you have the choice and say, this is all dried out. I don't think it looks nice. And then I have engaged into the ego again. That is what that sentence means. Let all appearances seem pure to us, that we may pass them by in innocence and walk together to our Father's house as brothers and the holy sons of God. Beautiful. So when you do the Qigong class, which I have recorded for this, which is a seated Qigong class, specifically made for this section, and the standing classes, it is going to be generic classes which you can use for this section and for any other Qigong classes for now, because you're advancing and you know how to apply these lessons now, really in any kind of meditation or moving Qigong class. So you read the idea, my holy vision sees all things as pure, and you read the prayer when I remind you in the class. And the prayer, let's read that one more time together. Father, your mind created all that is. Your spirit entered into it. All that is. And would I look upon what you created as if it could be made sinful? Is that how I'm going to choose with my arrogance and decide, this is not innocent? I would not perceive such dark and fearful images. A madman's dream is hardly fit to be my choice, instead of all the loveliness with which you blessed creation, all its purity, its joy, and its eternal quiet home in you. And why in you? Because we are all within the universe. The universe, the earth is within the universe. It's within this intelligent space which we don't quite understand. And remember, in the class we're going to talk about this, but I just want to remind you one more time that your mind is within spirit and your body is within the mind. And it's all fueled by spirit, by the light. So our choice today is to look at everything with our holy vision. Let me know if that makes sense to you. So for this particular lesson, I invite you to this seated Qigong class. You can also try to apply the lesson in this standing Qigong class. Here you have the reading of what is the body, and here you have got the whole list of classes if you would like to do another one. Love, light and chi to you.